Hi, I'm Dr. David Dow, and I'm here in my exam room, and I want to talk to you today about how acupuncture works in the body. So I get this question all the time: how does acupuncture work? Even some people are like, "Oh my God, acupuncture must be a myth," and it just seems like total craziness that you can put pins in somebody's body and then have some type of beneficial effect happen. But I always tell people, first off, it's like if acupuncture didn't help from the beginning, 1,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago, what people have been saying, the needles that they used back then were basically little pieces of bone, or they used sharp pieces of stone or flint. And those were big pieces. And when they put that in the body, I can tell you, if that did not help, no one is going to let them ever do that again. Does that make sense? So obviously acupuncture had a benefit from the beginning, and it was helping people. But the biggest real question is, how does acupuncture work? And we're just starting to understand that now. So the easiest way I explain it to my patients is, first off, if your roof is leaking and the water's pouring down into the basement, and the drain in the basement is clogged and the water is filling up in there, one of the things that acupuncture does is it opens up the drain and lets the water out of the basement. But I want you to understand, it doesn't fix the leak in the roof, okay? It doesn't necessarily fix the cause of the problem, but it fixes the mess that's accumulated in the basement. Okay, so when the nerves are damaged and the electrical energy from inside of the body and going through the nerves from the brain out to the body, that electrical energy can run into the tissue, and it's like building up pressure. It's like energy in a bubble. And a lot of times when you're in pain, you can feel that pressure. You can feel that energy accumulated. It makes the muscles tighter. And what can happen is, when I take that needle and you put that into that area where that energy is accumulated, it's like popping a bubble. It lets the energy escape. It's a relief. It lets the pressure out of there. And when that energy comes out, that electrical energy makes the muscles tight. Now those muscles can relax. And when the muscle relaxes, that increases the blood flow, and that allows those areas to heal better. So acupuncture can be really helpful that way. Now, working with the neurological system, the individual specific points in the body, when we put a point in a particular area, when we do like an EEG scan on the brain, you can see different parts of the brain light up when those points hit those different parts of the body. And as those areas are lighting up, the body's going to be releasing painkillers and endorphins down to that area. So by doing those specific points, it gets your brain to focus on those particular areas. And in Chinese medicine, where your thoughts go, the energy goes, and where the energy goes, the blood follows. And the blood has all the healing elements that allows those areas to heal as well. Now, as we get into kind of Western science and explain how acupuncture works, most of it has an effect on stimulating what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system is going to be strongest in two parts of your body. So we'll give you a little lecture here about acupuncture, just a little bit. But the parasympathetics are strongest at the base of the skull, up in the area called the brainstem. And the brainstem area also is where all of your senses come in. Sense of sight, smelling, hearing, tasting, everything comes in from there. Sense of balance and sense of coordination as well. So the sense of balance and coordination is actually controls how the joints move in your body. You want your joints to move in a nice coordinated way. And so when they're not moving smoothly, then the joints are breaking down. Now, when you get into a stressful situation, your body goes into a sympathetic state, which is called fight or flight. When that happens, it's like when a bear walks into the room, your body says, we don't need healing. We don't need reproduction. We don't need digestion. We don't need sleep right now. And it turns all those things off. Now, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system don't run at the same time. So we can turn off that sympathetic fight or flight system by turning on the parasympathetic. That's how we do that. So by stimulating those points at the base of the skull, gets your body to release parasympathetic hormones, which are calming. So it's what we want is a nice big bucket of serotonin and dopamine to help us deal with stress. And when this area gets injured, So actually concussions and head injuries and falls and car accidents can actually injure that area. It's like getting a hole in that bucket. Those calming hormones start to run out, and then your body compensates by using the sympathetic nervous system. So the fight or flight, your body releases adrenaline, and then your body releases cortisol. And we want that adrenaline, we need that adrenaline for when that bear walks into the room, but we're not supposed to be using that adrenaline all the time. So if we're under stress all the time and we're releasing that adrenaline all the time, that bucket starts to empty out. And when that bucket empties out, usually our whole body shuts down. And then we'll go and lay in bed for a couple of days, and then we'll see, then those hormone levels will start to pick back up again, and we kind of go up and down like that. We call that stress overload syndrome. Now, the second place where we get those parasympathetic hormones is going to be down in our lower back and our sacral area. And that's the biggest nerve in the lower body. And that sacral nerve also has that same effect. So if somebody injures their low back, that can actually damage those calming nerves, and they may start noticing that they're feeling more stress all the time. And then that's not good either. So anyway, I hope that you like this little talk that we did here. And if you're interested, if you have questions or you want more information, maybe about our healing center here, you can contact myself or Celeste. Our phone number is 608-233-3588. And we'd love to have you in your office here, and we'd love to help you. All right, have a good day.